says only Syrian army should be on country's southern border with Israel. Israel believes Russia may agree to withdrawing Iranian forces and allied Shi'ite militias from Israel-Syria border. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Monday that only Syrian government troops should have a presence on the country's southern border, which is close to Jordan and Israel, the RIA news agency reported. Lavrov was cited as making the comments at a joint news conference in Moscow with José Kandungwa Pacheco, his counterpart from Mozambique. On Sunday, Haaretz reported that Israeli political and military officials believe Russia is willing to discuss a significant distancing of Iranian forces and allied Shiite militias from the Israel-Syria border, according to Israeli officials. The change in Russia's position has become clearer since Israel's May 10 military clash with Iran in Syria and amid Moscow's concerns that further Israeli moves would threaten the stability of Syrian President Bashar Assad's regime. Russia recently renewed efforts to try to get the United States involved in agreements that would stabilize Syria. The Russians might be willing to remove the Iranians from the Israeli border, though not necessarily remove the forces linked to them from the whole country. Last November, Russia and the United States, in coordination with Jordan, forged an agreement to decrease the possibility of friction in southern Syria, after the Assad regime defeated rebel groups in the center of the country. Israel sought to keep the Iranians and Shiite militias at least 60 kilometers, 37 miles, from the Israeli border in the Golan Heights, east of the Damascus-Dara Road, or, according to another version, east of the Damascus-Suwaida Road, about 70 kilometers from the border. According to Israeli intelligence, in Syria there are now around 2,000 Iranian officers and advisors, members of the Revolutionary Guards, around 9,000 Shiite militiamen from Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iraq, and around 7,000 Hezbollah fighters. Israel believes that the Americans are now in a good position to reach a more effective arrangement in Syria in coordination with the Russians under the slogan "Without Iran and without ISIS." The United States warned Syria on Friday it would take firm and appropriate measures in response to ceasefire violations, saying it was concerned about reports of an impending military operation in a de-escalation zone in the country's southwest. As a guarantor of this de-escalation area with Russia and Jordan, the United States will take firm and appropriate measures in response to Assad regime violations, State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert said in a statement late on Friday. A war monitor, the Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, reported on Wednesday that Syrian government forces fresh from their victory this week against an Islamic State pocket in South Damascus were moving into the southern province of Daraa. Syrian state-run media have reported that government aircraft have dropped leaflets on rebel-held areas in Daraa urging fighters to disarm. The U.S. warning comes weeks after a similar attack on a de-escalation zone in northeastern Syria held by U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic Forces. U.S. ground and air forces repelled the more than 4-hour attack, killing perhaps as many as 300 pro-Assad militia members, many of them Russian mercenaries. Backed by Russian warplanes, ground forces from Iran and allied militia, including Lebanon's Hezbollah, have helped Assad drive rebels from Syria's biggest cities, putting him in an unassailable military position.